I don't know. I don't think it was that important to me at the time. I think it was funny to not have that chapter closed in my life and just keep doing the things that I was doing and not really thinking about retirement. I think it became some sort of a quote, I guess, like a funny quote. You know, you never retire. When is he going to retire? Is he going to retire ever? So I think I was just having fun with it. But they're making me do this right now, so I guess it's inevitable.
Who else? Bruce, right here in the middle. Mark, you just pass it over.
Bernie, do you feel comfortable retiring finally? And what do you think your legacy will be as a Yankee?
I felt very comfortable retiring about 9 years ago. Just the fact that I didn't make it official, it didn't mean that I was kind of done with the game. What do I think about my legacy? I think the fact that I was part of a team that had a great run in the history of this organization, I think to me that's the most important thing. We took a lot of, we had this sort of team-oriented concept, and we took it to the, to the max. And, very proud to have the opportunity to be a part of that team. And never in my wildest dreams I would have thought that, a day like this, I guess a month like this would come to somebody like me. I'm just kind of going back when I was a 17-year-old kid down in Puerto Rico, signing the contract to play in the minor leagues, coming right out of high school. I would have never thought that a moment like this would happen. So I'm extremely proud and grateful and very honored.
Julio in the back.
Julio, Latino
Back
Sports. Bienvenido. Welcome back, Bernie.
¿Cómo está? Thank you.
Gracias. Bernie, how does it feel coming back today in an official capacity in baseball again? How does it feel walking back into the stadium?
It feels great. We all thought about, I was just thinking about the day about a month, away. And since I'm a full-time student now in college, I wasn't really thinking too much about this day. So I think in a sense it took me by surprise. I'm kind of like feeling the same way that I was feeling when I was playing, when I was a current player, just answering questions in a normal press conference, maybe for a playoff game or something like that. And it has this sort of excitement feeling to it. But other than that, I'm just, like taken by all the lights, and I almost forgot how it felt like, to be the center of attention. So I guess it's a very strange feeling right now, being out of it, now for 9 years. It's pretty cool, I guess, to be part of it. It kind of brings me back into all these great memories that I had as a player.
Against the wall, Otis. To your left, Bernie.
Bernie, right over here.
You said, hey, how are you?
Yeah, how you doing? You said that you felt like you were done 9 years ago. You just didn't officially announce it. Was there times, though, during the last 9 years that since you weren't retired, that you actually thought about coming back, wanted to play again, got that itch?
Of course. I still feel like that like even now. Yeah, but, that physically there are things that you can do or things that that you can't. I think, I gave myself that period of time, especially the first 2 or 3 years, to kind of let that whole thing out of my system. I think it was a process, sort of wrestling mentally, and not put yourself in a situation where you're not going to be playing at the best of your ability and not really performing the way you wanted it, your expectations, and obviously the expectations of the organization. But I think personally it takes a process to get back into, I guess, the transition to what I would call normal life, because this is not normal, and I think it is almost like a grieving period. This is like losing your best friend. It's like something that I was doing, for most of my life since I was 8 years old. And it took some time. I think, I was very blessed. I am very blessed to have something to fall back on, and I wouldn't say fall back on because it was one of my other passions with music. It has been able to fulfill that void in many ways. The mental challenge and the thing that gets you up in the morning and say, yeah, I got something to do, and I'm excited about the day and how is it going to go and things that I'm going to do. So to me, that was very important, and to make that transition between. There was a period that I didn't think I was good enough to play baseball, and I wasn't good enough to play music too. And that was kind of like sitting in limbo, But it had to be that way. It had to go through that sort of slope, going into a process where now I'm really decided to go full force into what I'm going to do now and kind of leave baseball behind. And, it has been great. It has been a great process in my life. I've learned a lot.
Lloyd, back left. Bernie.
Hi, Bernie.
Hi.
Brian made a reference to the Fab Five. I was always curious if you were ever rankled by the term Core Four. Felt omitted. Also, you said you're going to college. What are you studying? Where are you attending?
Yeah, well, the Fab Five, I always thought that there was, I guess some reasoning for the Core Four, for whatever reason. They said, well, I was kind of first, or whatever reason they chose. I think the people that knew the team, knew that obviously I was part of the team as well, and I don't know. I think I was just sort of taken. It was more fun than me to hear all the. Like back and forth, he's part of it. No, he's not part of it. He's part of it. No, he's not part of it. So I thought it was more funny than anything else. The people that know in the organization, players, and they all know that we were all part of that that great run. And whatever name you choose to call us, I still have the great memories from that time, and that's what I take away from that. And I am actually pursuing a jazz performance degree at Manhattan School of Music. I have 1 year left. So after all this thing about being a professional baseball player with the Yankees, I decided to be a rock star. So I'm going that route. No, music has been one of my passions since I was very young. So I'm kind of pursuing that full time right now.